But how about sustainability? So sustainability is something new. We kind of know that every single summer is a little bit warmer. Not so long ago, there was a politician when the summer was really hot. He said, it's once in a lifetime. This heat is once in a lifetime. The next year, the summer got even hotter. Then he said, once in a 100 years time, 100 years. The next time it got hit. Then he kept quiet and he said, okay, maybe every single year it'll be hot. That's not fun. So this climate change is real. So someone will say that it's a hoax. I'm not sure, man. It sounds real to me. So what are the things we can do? So very quickly, just look at IPCC. IPCC stands for Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change. It's the, I think, world-renowned organization. You look very clearly, the latest report, I think 2024, should be 2024. The world is moving towards 4 degrees. So we kept talking about like 1.5 degree, we are trying just a little bit, we can achieve. We are moving towards 4 degrees. So what is 1.5 degree? So many people talk about if we fail 1.5, we'll go to 2 degrees. So 2 degrees, what does that mean? 2 degrees means our children will never see coral reef in their life. 99% of all coral reef will die. Jakarta North will be gone. Phnom Penh South will be gone. Maldives will be gone. Venice will be like 6 meters up, will be gone. All the beautiful art that you see, all gone. Our children will never see them anymore. That's 2 degrees. 1.5 degree is 75% of all coral reef will be gone. So we are aiming for that. We are aiming for 75% of all coral reef gone, and we think that's a bit better than 99%. So that is what we are aiming. IPCC report, recent one came out and say, fantastic, we are moving towards 4 degrees. Everything's gone. So if we don't do anything, so the report is very thick, you all read by yourself, but I just show the colors. The color shows red. Red means no good. Okay, so very hot. As finance people, we look at numbers. So 2024, they compiled a list of disaster, and they use CPI adjusted. So this is real inflation CPI adjusted number. You can see that it is very expensive. So if we don't care about our future generation, our children cannot see coral reef, you can see other things that maybe they can move to the moon or the Mars. But if just look at numbers, just look at dollars, it is not fun. It is a lot of money. And many of us, we say we are CFO, treasurer, who cares? The machine that we buy, are they able to withstand the heat? The plant that we buy, are we able to withstand the flood? So those are the items that we kind of should know, but many of my colleagues, no idea. So 2024, read by yourself, this is a real number. It went through the roof. So that chart cannot contain, not enough space. So it went through the roof. So in 2024, the disaster, we haven't finished 2024. The disaster has really gone through the roof. We already cannot continue. Next is the global temperature. So this is from NASA. So NASA look at Earth, it's quite accurate. So if you take Earth, you only measure one place. You take the entire world, it's actually quite accurate. You can see from here, 1880 to 2020, I think this is 2022, but still quite recent. 2022, you can see that it's the hottest time. And 23 is the hotter time than 2022, and 24 is hotter than 2022. Not fun, not fun. So, any Chinese over here? Okay, never mind. So the biggest polluter in the world by country is China, period. Very, very simple. It's China, period. But as a professor, we should be open, we should be very fair. There are 4 reasons why we should not blame China. The first is that we buy many things from Shopee, Lazada. They are produced in China because it's cheaper. So when they produce, they emit, we buy. So we contribute to that emission. Also number 1. Number 2, for the past 100 years, they have been living in not so rich state, poverty. And we have been, okay, and then we say that, oh, now you cannot pollute, but we have been polluting for the past 100 years. So that's number 2. Number 3, by population, they are not so bad. They are number 3, the world number 3. The first is US. So they have huge population, and therefore their emission, although it's the biggest, they account for 31% of the whole world's pollution. But they are not to be blamed because by population, they are world number 3. So the worst is US. And number 4, they're actually doing a lot. So solar panel, I think if you buy any solar panel, the cheapest one, the cheapest one is from China. So they are doing a lot. They are doing quite a bit than us. But because they are not transparent and we don't trust them, we are one world, so we don't trust some part of China, so we don't use that number. But they are doing a lot. So 4 reasons shouldn't blame fully on China, but China is the biggest polluter. So very clear. And number 2 is the rest of the world. Number 3, US, 4, you can count yourself, India. So 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the world's biggest polluter by absolute term. Absolute means you shouldn't measure this way. We should use other means to measure ratio, for example. So what are the things that we can do? There are many things we can do, but always remember there's a thing called other people's problem. So in Singapore, we are doing quite okay. We all know that the aircon yesterday was very, very cold. And some gentlemen, ladies here, complained to Michael, and then he immediately switched off. These are the things that we do. So we don't just feel shy and then we just keep the aircon on. So we take action. So in many parts of Singapore, you can see that we are doing solar panel, we are doing farming, we are doing even car park farming. How many car parks farming in Singapore? Do you all know? 33. 33 big car park farmings. You say just a big one, like HDB, super big one. You go up 6th floor, usually no more cars, right? So it's a waste of land. So they converted that to car park farming. So 33 of them. So there are many things that Singapore is doing, but I can tell you that Singapore will do everything, and the impact is so small. One small thing done by our neighbors is enough to cover 5 years of our effort. So it is a whole world's event, and everyone should contribute. So everyone contribute. How does that work? So there's a meeting called COP. So Conference of Parties. Parties means government. So Conference of Parties 1 was in Berlin, and it was a very, very successful. I truly think without that we can't even move. So to me, Kyoto Protocol is a very, very successful one too, because it solved many issues. Remember the CFC gas ozone layer. So we solved many things. So Kyoto Protocol COP3 is a very successful one. COP21 Paris Agreement is a fantastic one. Without that one, today many governments we still continue to do what we are doing. But because of COP21, many governments now committed to net zero in 2050. You know how difficult it is to do net zero? Whatever you do, you have 100 years of COVID, you cannot reach net zero. 100 years of COVID, you cannot reach net zero. Net zero is very, very difficult. Every single government, okay, 192 of them, 192 government committed to net zero in Paris Agreement COP21. And in my personal opinion, COP28 is also very important. So COP28 was last year in Dubai. It was super important because many agreements were signed. And that was the first time that we have a loss and damage fund, and it was the first time that we talked about what are the real direction. So this is Kyoto Protocol, and I think I took the whole newspaper, but this was very instrumental, very instrumental. I thought the Paris Agreement newspaper from New York Times, again, it's a win. It's a win. Last year was very useful. We created transition away from fossil fuel. First time in the history of mankind that we have agreed unanimously. Okay, not unanimously, but 192 countries. 192 is basically the whole world, 99% of the whole. 192 countries agreed that we will transition away from fossil fuel. First time in the history of mankind that we agreed on something. So this was very, very useful. So I happened to be there, and I was a speaker, and I talked about carbon credit. You all want to know what I talked about? Want to know? Really? Oh, okay, a lot. Thanks. So when I was talking about carbon credit, and I say this is one of the instruments to save our world, our children's world, some guys say, no, Vincent, Dr. Vincent, we have gone through COVID. You know that how difficult that was. We didn't travel, you know, we didn't go out, we didn't take train, we didn't take bus, we didn't drive a car. We have done enough. And maybe now it's time for me to have some fun. I should start to travel. Please look at this chart. The COVID emission came back within 1 year. 1 year. So this dip is COVID. So our carbon emission, greenhouse gas emission in CO2 term. So CO2 term means you have methane, we have hydrogen oxide, everything add to CO2. CO2 terms has been going up since 1940, and in 2020 we had COVID. It came down immediately back up 2021. So gone. Our past effort was fantastic effort not to go out of our house. It's gone within 1 year. So that's why I say if you have 100 years of COVID, it will be enough. So it's not COVID. The solution is not COVID. Then what's the solution? There are many solutions. So one of the solutions is carbon tax. So when I talk about carbon tax, I've got slam like left, right, center, and then left, right, center again, and then left, right, center again. So carbon tax is a new tax. Many companies are very angry with me. But it's gazetted in Singapore called Carbon Pricing Act 2018. And it basically says we will need you all to prepare sustainability report. We need to know your carbon footprint. After knowing your carbon footprint, we'll tax you. And It's 25,000 ton and above. Can read by yourself, but it's 25,000 ton and above, and it's $25 per ton CO2 E. So CO2 E means equivalent. So it's carbon oxide 2, carbon dioxide 2, and this is equivalent to this. If you emit a lot of methane, you have to multiply by 27.9. So if you emit 1 ton, it's 27.9 ton of CO2. Okay, so every ton CO2 you will have to pay $25. Last year, anyone knows what is last year's price? Last year's price? It's $5. So $5 to 25 is 400% increase. You know, as a CFO of Motorola and IP International and most recently Datalogic, if any of my price increased by 20%, I'll call a QBR and I'll ask everyone to come, and I'll ask my supplier to come, I'll ask my treasurer to find a hedging process to look at things. This is 400%. Many of my colleagues don't even know what's happening, and the remaining one haven't even noticed it. So the issue is, what can we do? So many times as a treasurer or as a CFO, we like to hope that we have a crystal ball to predict the future, right? So we want to know, like, what's going to happen. If I can know a little bit of the future, I will be helping my company to earn billions of dollars. This is very clear. This is, for sure it will happen. Companies will be required to do sustainability reporting based on TCFD, based on ISSB. By 2024, that means next year, December, you will see many companies scrambling. If they have not engaged a consultant, they will have problem. They should do themselves. I don't encourage consultants. They should do themselves. They should start hiring people. They should start training the people to do sustainability. Have they done? I'm not sure. So how many listed companies are there in Singapore? 647. 647 companies will be doing this. I'm not sure how many of them are ready. Next, we have climate-related disclosure based on ISSB standard, International Sustainability Standards Board. Again, 2027, 2029, how many of them are ready? I suspect not a lot. You just give you a question. So how many auditors do you think there are in Singapore that can audit sustainability report? Just have a guess. How many, roughly? Fantastic. Zero. Absolute zero. Because the course hasn't even started yet. So I was a counsel of this Institute of Singapore Chartered Accountants. We are the one who govern the audit space. We have not finalized our course yet. So how to have auditors? We don't have auditors, So not only that the companies will scramble, the auditors will also scramble, the consultants will also be scrambling, and we have a crystal ball. We know it will come, and no one is doing anything about it. So mandatory energy improvement, same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 things that is already gazetted, will come. Many of my colleagues don't even know about it. And the best part is that you think this is Singapore. Unfortunately, this is ASEAN. So Thailand just followed us 3 weeks ago, started carbon tax. When you're free, Google. But this will come more than Thailand. It will come Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia. It will come in every single ASEAN countries, all 10 of them. Okay, 10 plus 1. Someone say Myanmar is but 10 countries. Also, what are the things you can do to mitigate carbon tax? So carbon tax law, you want to pay. What do? Offset, carbon offset. So carbon offset, those who are from Europe should be very familiar. There's a thing called ETS, Emission Trading Scheme. Emission Trading Scheme basically means if you don't want to pay, buy or pay. So if you have a cap, if you want to pollute more, pay from other companies, buy from other companies, and then you can pollute. What is the price? So it was low. So look at ETS. So today there are many exchanges, but look at this one. The black color one, it came up somewhere around here, 2020 to 80 euro. 80 euro. So it was around maybe 6 euro for a very long period of time. 6 euro and went up 80 euro. Why? Because the government implementation happened 2020. We are facing this in ASEAN. Not many people think about it. They should know because it's in Google. No one go and read. I mean, not no one. So lesser people of my students go and read. So look at other exchanges. So today, if you look at the China exchanges, because they are not so transparent, so they remain at like 3 euro, 2 euro a time. But you look at this. These are the voluntary carbon credit market. Voluntary carbon credit market means it is not offsettable with carbon tax, and therefore the requirement is lesser and the price will not go up. So the key is Singapore, we are implementing this, it will become a mandatory or compulsory carbon credit. We have a crystal ball, we know what will come. Are we doing anything about it? Maybe no. Okay, so I just want to say the evolving treasurer, the same slide as just now. I just want to say that we really have to take action. So I don't like all this slide and then don't give you a context. Right? I have now given you 3 crystal balls. What will happen in the future? And then I'll say this. You need to look at advancement of AI, competitive advantage. The companies that you are competing may not be doing the things that I just mentioned. You have competitive advantage, helping your CFO, CEO to improve company's ability, risk of being irrelevant, and the time to act is now. I also want to say there are convergence. So AI and sustainability is not like standalone. AI and sustainability can complement very, very well. If you do scope 1, 2, 3, you will know very clearly that there are a lot of data. So I calculate manually, I calculate using Excel, but I calculate manually and just to show that I can do it. But it's very, very time consuming. But if you have AI to help you calculate, it is going to be so easy. You will be able to withstand audit. So just to summarize, just now I say sustainability report, mandatory 2024. That means 2025 we have to show it. That's for listed company with 4 industry. However, 2027, you're not listed, right? Also mandatory. 1B. But I have been lobbying to get it lower to 300 million. So 300 million if I win. 300 million also need to do sustainability reporting in Singapore. And usually whatever that Singapore has done, ASEAN will follow 2 years later. And those things that I lobby will be implemented 2 years down the road. How much opportunity there is? A lot. Then you have the sustainability report done. You know how much you need to pay because of the carbon tax. So you can calculate net present value. So if it's a project that comes in today, Dr. Vincent, let's invest $1 million for a project in 2029 for sustainability related. You look at the NPV, it doesn't make sense. But if you add the tax, you know how much it was increased last year to this year, right? 400%. You add the tax, add the increase, maybe it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense after this. So the ability to use AI to forecast in treasury or in finance are very, very crucial. Next, my action, call to action. Okay, call to action, but basically it is to evaluate current practices but find opportunities. I've given you the crystal ball. Find opportunities for your countries, for your companies, for your area. Strategize something that can work. It is very important that we all understand about all this climate change and then look at numbers. Sometimes when I talk to my audiences or students, they listen, Dr. Vincent, all you say about climate change being warm is fantastic, but 2050 I'll be dead by then. You also will be dead by then. So I say, yes sir, I'll be dead by then. Hey, but I have children, I have like a lot of children and then grandchildren. So that's number one. But then they say, no, I don't have children, I don't care. Fine, nothing to say. Right? How about money? So if you can earn a lot of money, will you do it? Oh yes, Dr. Vincent, I'd like to understand more. So that's how it works. Number one, you talk about the climate being warm will harm the next generation. Number two, you talk about money. There will be a lot of money in 2027 and 2029. Then I think some of your stakeholders will start to listen to you, especially the older one like me. You talk to them, 2050 I'll be dead by then. Not only that I'll be retired, I'll be totally dead by then. Talk to them about 2029. Money will be there. Maybe you can earn even earlier. Okay, so I'm going to offend a lot of people today, but some of my treasury and treasurer audiences listen to my speech and so excited, and they say, as a treasurer, I can't do anything, but I can buy ESG funds. I can help the company to invest in ESG funds. You all know about Vanguard, S&P, heard of it? Fantastic. This seminar is fantastic, all the incredible people. So we have a Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. That means you don't do anything. ETF, everything is inside. Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. What is the expense ratio? 3%. So you can see from here, our Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, and then look at ESG. Vanguard ESG is the same thing. Vanguard ESG ETF. This one is with ESG. That's all. The difference is Vanguard without ESG, Vanguard with ESG. Look at expense ratio, 0.09. So just now was 0.03. Now 0.09. So the managers, I'm going to offend a lot of people. Anyone you from Vanguard? Don't have. Okay. If have, I also can't do anything. This is public information. I didn't make this up. 3 times, the managers are earning 3 times. You know how much is 3 times? Take your salary and you say that you multiply by 3 times. That's how big that is. Imagine your salary times 3. That's all. That means you are doing S&P today's salary. You put ESG 3 words into whatever that you're doing, you earn 3 times more. Your salary increased by 3 times. That's all. Okay, remember that. What do they invest? I just take a very quick analysis of what they buy. I have 100. I go through 100, but fine. I just take top 10. Well, today no time, but I take top 10. This is the top 10 holding of S&P 500 ETF. Top 10. This is the top 10 of ESG. It's the same. It's the same. They are buying the same thing, up to 97%. So 3% is different. For 3 times salary, they are doing the same. Okay, I'm doing it but for 3 times salary, it's basically the same. And this is not that difficult to do. You just do a Google and then you can search yourself. Of course, today will be different. I presented this like 3 months ago. And just look at this and this. It's almost the same, you know. Even like Microsoft, Apple. It's basically the same. So I compare. Okay, one more time. So I go back. I go here. The only difference basically is the this and this go up and down a little bit. You know what is Eli Lilly? You know what's Eli Lilly? Eli Lilly. Fantastic farmer, and they produce like antibiotic for chicken, for fish, for many animals. Many of the animals that we eat has got their antibiotic. They basically just increase the percentage. That's all, no? So they buy exactly the same thing. Those in their portfolio, they increase a little bit, 3 times salary. I like to be in Vanguard, man. So the key is how do we choose real sustainability investment? How do we choose to contribute in real terms to sustainability instead of like we talk a lot and then. So today I talk a lot and I gave crystal ball and then you all go home and buy Vanguard ESG and then you think that's fine. How do we do more than that? How do we do slightly more than that? Critical thinking. So that's why I say we have to really take action. So when I say call for action, I don't just put a slide and then please call for action and that's it. You can do something tonight, even this afternoon. Just do a search. If you are investing something called ESG, just do a search. Is it a real thing or not? If you are investing in a project, is it a real thing or not? If you are doing a green bond, is it a real thing or not? So there's so many of my students who talk and then listen. They're very excited. At the end of the seminar, talk to me. I have a long line up to talk to me and very happy. 1 month later, I text them, what have you done? Nothing. Dr. Vincent, busy. A lot of work. Never do anything. So it's like, I really hope that we take action instead of just talk about it. So overall, I have given you crystal ball of many things. Among them, the carbon tax gazetted. These are gazette, so everyone also can go inside and check. I did additional step of showing you the gazette. So gazetted, 2019 to 2023 is $5 per ton of emission. 2024 to 25. You know what happened in 2023? November, I came back from COP28 and then I was addressing a big crowd of CFOs and finance director level, and I talked about carbon tax will go up to $25. So many people so angry with me, and then during the lunch they were like, "Oh, Dr. Vincent, how can that be? Cannot, we cannot survive. Already still increase." And then when Lawrence Wong announced it, they were like, they didn't say, "Oh, Vincent said that." They will say, "No, the government no good." So it's like you should know this by just googling it because it's inside the Gazette. It gazetted in 2018, so you just go search, you can find. Okay, anyway, it's a crystal ball. So 2025 is $25 per ton, increase of 400%. 2027 it will be $45, huge increase. 2029 will be 80 Singapore dollar. If you know of any investment that will go up at this rate, I encourage you to quickly go and invest. But if you know about the things that I told you today, what are you going to do? Maybe nothing. So many of my audiences go home still do nothing, but I don't understand why. The key is that you have a crystal ball, you know exactly what's going to happen. The second crystal ball I showed you was the carbon credit, right? So I mentioned today's carbon credit price, $5. So nothing. It will be around 80 because ETS has already shown you, emission trading scheme in Europe, has already shown you that it will go up at the time where the policy is being implemented. The policy will be implemented. And we know that it will come and then we do nothing. Okay, so there are many things that we should do for money, but so think a little bit also about the climate because the next summer will be hotter. Maybe not next year, but the next summer will be hotter. So what are you going to do about it? So if you study ISSB, you know that we have to do double materiality, we have to do dynamic risk management. And when we do that, we have to look at the risk of not doing anything and the risk of transition. 2 types of risk you have to show in your report. The 2 types of risk will require you to think carefully about what will happen in the future. So again, crystal ball, very clear. This will be something that you have to consider. Your equipment parked outside, temperature usually 30 degrees Celsius. Going forward, 40 degrees Celsius is your temperature. able to harm your equipment, very likely to. So think about along that line. Next, sustainability reporting. I mentioned a lot about sustainability reporting. Do you all know about who in the board of companies that are responsible for financial statement? If financial statement is wrong, who is responsible in the board? Anyone else? Again, sorry?
Management.
No, board. So management is not in the board. Anyone? There's one person who will get it first.
Chairman.
No, before chairman, it will be AC. So it will be audit committee chairman. Because it's in Companies Act, you must have an audit committee, and the audit committee chairman must be having financial and accounting knowledge. Please check the Companies Act is stated there. There's no requirement for sustainability report. So today, who checked the sustainability report? Likely AC. Otherwise, the chairman will get it. So in 2027, when the assurance comes, there will be companies who will be shown as greenwashed. Who do they will go to jail? The audit committee chairman will go to jail first, and then the chairman will go to jail. It is not fun, you know. This is like a lot of risk. What do you think they will do? Hire a lot of employees, or I hope, in their company to do sustainability reporting or sustainability work. Are they doing it? Clearly not. But when it comes close to the time, they will start to realize these are super intelligent people. They will know, but they will know a bit later. So when they know, what do you think they will do? They will scramble for talent. And if you all are talent, what do you think your salary will be? Okay, maybe you all are very rich, never mind. But in case you're as poor as me, it's a lot of fun things. How much time? I can give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes maximum. So overall, I gave you 4 crystal balls. Actually 5 if we include the last part that I wanted to say. So if chairman knows that audit committee chair, and he himself will go to jail, he will create a sustainability committee in the board. Today it's not mandated, but many companies have already done that. I asked June in SGX, managing director of SGX, and she said we cannot do that now because the listed company number is very, very low, 643. Once the number is high, she will mandate a sustainability committee in the board. Who do you think should be inside as an independent director? Those who attend my class like today. So please go back, take action, learn. I think there are many things that we can do, and the words that I stated here is not for fun. There are many things that together we can improve the company, we can improve the climate, and thank you very much.